welcome back to our channel. Holy Week is fast approaching. Palm Sunday is just 2 weeks from today. So today we want to share with you some of our Holy Week helps for children. Different things that we have that help kids of all ages see and understand what Holy Week is all about.
So we're going to show you some of our favorite Holy Week hands-on decor, our favorite way to pray the Stations of the Cross, which works especially well with teens and tweens, and also some Holy Week picture books.
Hi, I'm Jennifer and this is Kate, and with Holy Week fast approaching, we want to share with you some of our Lenten, I don't want to say decorations because that would be weird to decorate for Lent, but some of the items that we like to put out right before Palm Sunday. And these are items that help us start to meditate more deeply on the Passion of Christ.
So the first thing is the Holy Week wooden peg doll set. We got this one a couple years back in a swap, but we'll also show you in the video how you can make this set at home.
This is part of our peg doll Holy Week set. We always have our palms from last year. We'll replace those in a couple of weeks. But this is the Last Supper, you can see, with Jesus and all 12 of the apostles with him. Then coming over here, we have Jesus on trial with all the usual suspects. We have Pilate and Herod and Annas and Caiaphas. So that's a pretty tense moment over here. Then we have Simon the Cyrene and Veronica. We have the crucifixion scene. We have the good thief and the bad thief. Joseph of Arimathea. We have Mary Magdalene, and we also have Blessed Mary. And I really like that the kids can look at the dolls out there and really understand what's happening and see everyone.
So the peg dolls are also very sturdy, so you don't have to worry about them getting damaged if you have little hands picking them up and playing with them. And if you're interested in making your own set for your kids, it's very affordable and doable. Lacey over at Catholic Icing has a printable Passion peg doll set, which makes the project very easy.
And there's still time to get it all done before Holy Week. So making a wooden peg doll set for Holy Week is really easy. All you have to do is get some of these guys, the peg dolls, and regular computer paper. Then you can just print out the images onto regular computer paper, cut them out, and then Mod Podge them to the body of the peg doll. And then all you have to do is paint the head. So it comes together really quickly. You can buy these at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and you can definitely order them online.
So this is something that you could have your older kids definitely make for your younger kids. And we'll also have Lacey's page linked down below, as well as a couple links where you can buy the peg dolls online. So next we have this set of wooden Easter eggs. We actually have two sets because we kind of fell in love with the idea and did two swaps, but this is the one we have right now, and then we'll show you our second one in a minute.
So these are really fun because each egg has one of the symbols of the Passion. This one, of course, has the palm for Palm Sunday, but then we also have the Last Supper, Peter, the cock crowing 3 times. This is neat. You can ask your kids, why would there be an egg with a whip on it? Or why does this egg have one die on it? You know, what does that mean? But come Easter Sunday, these do double duty because then you can flip them all around and they have Easter egg decorations on them, which is kind of fun. So you can leave them out for all of the Easter season. Now this set is a little bit fancier than the one that we're going to show you in a minute because this one, the back of the eggs are decorated elaborately, and also there's a Bible verse on the back that corresponds to each symbol.
So this is the second set that we have. This one's a little more simple. Some of the designs are done with wood burning, but then others are just painted on.
And they're decorated on the back just by painting, so they're not as fancy, but it's still fun to turn them around. You have all the different colored Easter eggs. And then this set does have some different symbols. For instance, this is the temple veil being torn in two, which we know happened on Good Friday. So I'm really glad I have these eggs and my peg doll sets because I use them a lot when I teach. I take them even on Palm Sunday to show my older kids, my middle school and early high school, and I do find that they're really interested in seeing all the different peg doll characters, and they'll go around and they'll pick up things and they'll try to puzzle out, like, what does this coat represent? Of course, this is when Jesus was stripped of his garment, so they'll look at the symbols and they'll try to guess where it fits into the whole Passion play.
So now on to Stations of the Cross, which is the traditional and beautiful prayer to pray during Holy Week. And this year, actually, the churches are open and having their Station of the Cross services, so that's awesome.
But we know that some of you are still in areas where the churches are not having these services available, and for that reason, having a set of Stations of the Cross cards at home is really handy. I like this set that I bought from Catholic Heritage Curricula. It's been a long time since I bought these. I don't think they're available there anymore, but we will link a couple of different places where you can buy similar ones down below.
So these are about a 4x6 size, which is really perfect because it allows you to have the reflection and prayer on the back, and we just printed them off on cardstock and glued them on.
So what I like in particular about these cards is that they show that there is suffering going on and that there's something very serious happening, but they aren't so graphic that they really scare my younger students. But I also use them with my older students too. On Palm Sunday, we generally pray the Stations of the Cross. And what I'll do is I'll take these into class because they're nice and sturdy with the cardstock on the back. And I will give each student at least one card to hold. Before we start praying though, I do ask every student to look at the back and then write down the name of the station and what number it is. For example, this is the 7th station, Jesus falls for the 2nd time. So they write that down before we start praying. And then as we go around saying the Stations of the Cross, they have to be paying attention. They have to be watching, like, what number is coming up, where am I? And it really helps them focus in and pay attention.
So as you're sitting there with the card, knowing that you have to pray it out loud, it becomes a little bit more of your station. You're looking at the prayer and the reflection and at the picture and just focusing in more on that station.
Having to sit there for 20 or 30 minutes and look at Jesus meeting his mother, you don't forget that. So at the end of the prayer, I collect all the cards and then I tell my students, again, look at the number and the name of the station that you had. And then as you go through Holy Week, I want you to just reflect on that particular station. It just makes a really good point for reflection.
And you can also do the same thing with your family and give each family member a card or 2 or 3, depending on how many people you have, and then you can pray the stations that way with them.
Now we're going to wrap up this video with 4 of our favorite picture books for Holy Week. We do have some here that we really like, and they're not just good for children. If you haven't read some of these, they're well worth rereading as a teenager or an adult.
So the first one we have is Little Rose of Sharon. So this one is a great introduction to the concept of giving up everything for someone else, which is what Jesus did when he died on the cross for us.
So sometimes in the Bible, Jesus is referred to as the Rose of Sharon, and that was what inspired the author to create this like folk tale or parable. And in it, there's a little rose who winds up giving everything to save someone else. And God the Creator is walking in the garden and he notices the little rose's sacrifice. So he stops and he talks to the rose and he says, I see that you gave everything you had for someone else. You know what? My son is coming and he will also give everything he has to save all of mankind. And so you have this picture here. This is as graphic as it gets in this book. So it's a really gentle introduction for your little bitty guys to Holy Week and how Jesus died for love of us all.
So the next book for kids that are a little bit older is The Story of the Easter Robin. So this is about Tressa and her grandmother who are watching a pair of robins who have built a nest outside their window. And when a storm comes and threatens them, the grandmother reminds Tressa that we have to trust in God who takes care of the robins and the sparrows.
And so she also goes on to tell Tressa the legend of how the robin got its red breast and how that is tied to Jesus and the crown of thorns. So it's a very interesting story. And I really love how the grandmother emphasizes more than once that we have to trust God, the creator of the world, to take care of the world that he created. He's not going to overlook us or forget about us.
The next book is The Thorn Bush by Michael Lawlin. So this tells the story of a little thorn bush. It's growing in this doorway on a street, which happens to be just the right spot to witness all the events of Jesus' passion.
So the pictures in this one are a little bit more graphic, but I do especially like this one because the little thorn bush sees all these things happening. He sees people coming by. For instance, he sees Judas come stumbling by, coming and going, and he also sees one of the Roman soldiers.
So even though the thorn bush is a pretty lowly bush, its branches made the only crown that Jesus ever wore on earth. And so while it's a great book for kids, it's also pretty thought-provoking for adults.
All right, so we're finishing up today with this book, The Easter Story by Brian Wildsmith. And I have to say that this is probably my favorite of all Easter books. It follows Jesus through the eyes of the little donkey who was with him from beginning to end, but the pictures are just so incredibly beautiful. I especially love the picture of the Last Supper because it really gives a sense of what it might have been like. The Bible does tell us that it was an open, well-lit room, and you looking at the picture that the author drew, you really get a sense of that.
And also in the picture of the crucifixion, there are angels in the sky, which there must have been, though we never really think about it. And legend also has it that many, many angels came down to earth to celebrate when Jesus was born, but also that all of the angels in heaven were there when he died to mourn.
Wow, every single angel that has ever existed was on earth to witness the crucifixion. That's something to think about. But the scenes of the resurrection in here are also so joyful and colorful and beautiful. So if you haven't looked at this one in a while, pick it up and enjoy it again. All right, so that is our roundup of Holy Week helps for children for 2021. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Let us know down in the comments if you have any Holy Week traditions. We'd love to hear about them.
So we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.